Good wherever you might be watching me from. Like I said on my Facebook yesterday, that I'm going to come up with the positions to let you know what I feel about the United States, particularly President Trump executive order, which has to do with the uh, tariff in Europe and some African countries. We've seen a lot of opera. There's a lot of concerns. I don't want to call it anger. There was that has resulted to a lot of misinformation out there. In fact, name calling and the likes. Of course, there are legitimate reasons for people to have. There's for people to have concerns about what might actually be the aftermath of this tariff. But here, I just want to explain, let me say, the professional side of this whole angle. Because looking at the scenario, the Democrats, the liberal media want Trump to fail, which means if you watch campaigns that is going on CNN, on MSNBC, CBS, it is just to create tensions. Everybody out, trying to talk about the impact of the tariff, or how they think the tariff is going to affect the United States economy, that recession is coming, and the likes. But majority of these assertions are not true. Majority of these assertions are not true, because there's been examples of countries like China, with the level of with the way their economy is structured. People thought that, and the kind of challenges China is facing, you would think that by now China should be in recession. But of course, everybody know that China, one way or the other, they still find their way afloat. Now, let me say this: that with what we have currently now, it looks like President Trump is the most destructive president in the history of the United States after Theodore Roosevelt. You can say he's the most disruptive president, and the reasons are not. People might ask that why is Trump doing this, but your guess is as good as mine. But if you try to look at the backgrounds and how Trump really gets here, you will know that Trump presidency, if there is anything that is that you can call miracle or posterity, you could call Trump presidency. Series of indictments, impeached twice, convicted, the first president that will have a mock shot and the likes. Yet all those things didn't deter him, all to the point that he survived multiple assassination attempts. The one in Pittsburgh, was it in Pennsylvania? The one in Pennsylvania was very, very close, very, very close. The assassination in Pennsylvania was very close. And now you look at someone that was almost was about to thrown into jail by the oligarchy, was escaped multiple assassination attempts. Outside of the odds, still find his way to become the president of the United States. You will know that that kind of person will not fear anything, and you could see that from the day one of president actions, like trying to dismantle the deep state. Talks about what's going on in the USA ID, that has been a foundation to a lot of corrupt activities in Washington, as the case may be. The establishment of Dodge, Department of Government Efficiency, being managed by Elon Musk. Of course, we've seen the blowback on what that has happened to Tesla. So you look at the antecedent of Trump's from the day one that he has stepped into the White House for a second time. He meant business and is ready to call the bluff of the oligarchy. Now, let's go straight to the major issue. Let's talk about the tariff. Don't forget, before now, there is an existing 24% tariff on China. And in his Trump first time, Trump has always said it before now, that there is a trade imbalance between some countries in Europe. Look at China, Germany, Mexico, where European Union intentionally decided to slap a VAT on most of the American products. If you go to Japan, if you go to go to Taiwan, go to Japan, go to China, you will not see one single American made cars. That you can't see. It's not as if those vehicles are not available. But Europe decided in their own right to create a VAT on all American products, which makes it so difficult, unaffordable for European countries to have American products in their country. And guess what? You will see Toyotas, Hyundai, you see a lot of cars made in China, made in Japan. You see them all over United States, and the United States has the market. And Trump is trying to say, okay, now I'm not saying you should not make a business. I'm not after anybody trade of any countries. What I'm just saying that if Europe can slap a VAT on American made product, which make it impossible to do what? For American product to enter European market. So what is stopping American reciprocating the same tariff? It's just a common sense. It's just plus or two minus that every single businessman is going to think of. Now, looking at it from the angle, we've seen the outright from the Democrats saying that yes, this is going to kill our economy. But there was a video that I saw of Nancy Pelosi, I think sometimes in 1996 when it was a congresswoman at that time, where he made a presentation to the Congress where it was discovered that China is ripping American off, that the increase of China imports to America increased by 11%. This was way back 1994. 1997, 1997, I could not remember the exact day. But it's just to tell you that majority of companies in Europe depends solely on American product. And this is why Trump is saying that, look, if Trump said it's going to bring back the job, you cannot say you're just going to bring back the job. There must be plan and strategy to bring back those jobs. And the only thing that can bring back the job is to make sure that manufacturers' complaints come back to it. It's just simple economics. I've seen the way CNN make it looks like everyone is going to fall. They make it looks like people dead body will start dropping from from the sky. No, it's just common sense. Look at China, for instance. China is snapping 67% on every goods that come from United States to China. 67%. Until recently now, Trump make it 56%, because initially there was an existing 24% tariff that kickstarted, I think it's on the 20, immediately Trump took over. One of the executive orders President Trump signed was to slam a 22% tariff on it, but with another 34%, make it 56. Look at countries like European Union in general, they slapped 39% on goods, American goods. And President Trump is saying, okay, they slap us 39%, we are going to slap you 20%, which is a fair deal. Look at Vietnam. Vietnam is about 90%, and they reciprocate with 46%. Look at countries like even South Korea, Switzerland, Indonesia, Cambodia, United Kingdom, 10%. And you look at the population of United Kingdom, it's where the market is. Snap 10% to me, and it's just common sense. It's about you just trying to put your country forward. Even Israel was not spared, 33%. And what did happen? They slapped them 17%, which is, for me, is fair enough. Even Saudi Arabia, 10%, 10%. Now, what does it actually mean? This is what it means is that now, by the time this tariff go into full gear, it's going to be very difficult, because the company that are making this product, when they look at the tariff that involved in the end product, their product is going to be very expensive for them. It will not be that affordable within America. So, and there is a tariff that says that all American made products, there's going to be tax exemption. So if you want to make more money, if you want to create more business, it is for you to do plus and minus. Instead of you putting your plant in Mexico, putting your vehicle plants in Germany, putting your plants in China, why don't you bring back your manufacturing companies in United States? And by the time you do that, they're going to take off all this tariff off every single product that you produce. And that means at the end of the day, it means more job for the United States, but more money in your pocket as an investor and as manufacturer. And I think it's just a win-win situation. You look at situation where we have it in, what we have, they've made us believe that American products are what are costless. And it's not as if the cost of producing those products are higher, but it's just based on the fact that the tariff that's been placed on them in those different countries make it very high and make it difficult for for other countries to do business with. And it's just common sense. Like I said, that so all countries, even Thailand, Taiwan, Philippines, Chase, it's just about you putting your country forward. And what do I expect an American to do? First thing first is to keep faith with the President Trump. Let's see how he can follow through on these plans, which is the fact that I believe the cabinet are working across the board. I know stock market as we speak today has crashed to a barest minimum, but I'm very believe and I know that the stock market is going to rise again. Another tricky side of it is this: nobody knows whether this tariff is going to work, because it is like you going all out, placing all your bets. We don't know whether it's going to work, but I pray and I bet it that it better works. But if this tariff fails, Trump will not only lose midterm election. Don't forget, an election is coming midterms, and over 40 congressional seats are up for grab. So if this tariff did not work in the next 6 months, and the Republican lost at the midterm elections, which means the majority will move back to the Democrat, and you could see that Democrats will continue to roll back some of the policies that's being put in place. You could know that job ceiling, you should expect absolute government shutdown. That means we're going to have Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer 2.0, or what we witnessed in Trump's first term. So Republicans should try as much as possible, should support this agenda, because the midterm election that is becoming in 2026, and you know that as we speak now, there's some other election that is becoming in Florida. You will see Ron DeSantis will be running for governor in Florida. Of course, you might want to say that Vivek Ramaswamy also will be running for the governor of Ohio. All these elections has a lot to do in how midterm election is going to play out, and in totality how 2028 election is going to play out. You've seen Kamala Harris has started coming out, Biden, everybody started coming out of the hiding to tell you to want to make their position known that